What it do? Spac crew. Hey man, listen today. What is up, everybody? We got a freaking banger today. We got my MMA hot takes. Spac at it here again with a new video. I hope you guys like my bedtime impression. Now you must be thinking, Spac, why are you so ugly? What was that thumbnail? Dude, listen, man. Listen here, kid. I know what I'm talking about. I got JDM beating Bilal. I got that right. I got Alex Pereira beating Ankalaev again. I got that right too. People forget that I'm a freaking goat. Okay? Now today, we got my hot takes, like I said, and let's just get right into it. First, Zhang Weili would beat any flyweight besides Pantoja. Look at her. She's lifting. I don't know if that's Francis Ngannou or Shaq, but she's lifted both of them. She lifted Francis Ngannou. Look at her little smile. Look at her little ponytail, her little smile. She's so happy. She looks like she just got out of her factory shift. Come on, man. She is beating every flyweight. Let's look at the flyweight roster real quick. Okay. Joshua Van, that's a tough fight for her. You know, the knockout ability of Joshua Van is there. But I don't think she gets it. I don't think that he gets it. I think that she would smudge him so well because Zhang Weili outsmudged that other lady, Tatiana Suarez. Now, who does that to Tatiana Suarez, man? She was undefeated. Brandon Moreno is dead. Send him to the freaking Apex. He's gone after that. Brandon Royval, that is a bit tough because Brandon Royval is tall and he is lanky and he does have that kind of ability to shoot from far like a sniper. But I feel like Zhang Weili is at a level now. She's almost at a new prime where it doesn't really matter. She is just that good. And I feel like she would beat any flyweight on this roster besides Alexandre Pantoja. Because the issue with flyweight is besides Alexandre Pantoja and Tim Elliott and slightly Brandon Moreno, they don't have good grappling at all. Not really. Tagir Olombekov maybe does, but he's also lost and he also is just really not that strong in the grappling game. Now, I do see Usu Almabayev beating Zhang Weili, but majority of the flyweights would not even touch a hair on Miss Weili. Now, look at her hair. Look at her. She's smiling, bro. She doesn't even feel nothing, okay? Now you're saying, oh my God, just because she lifted shot doesn't mean nothing. Yes, it does, bro. If she could do this to a man who's like 1 billion feet, and maybe 500 pounds. Joshua Van, you're getting sent to the PFL, kid. You're done. Kai Kara France, don't even show up. Don't even show up to the octagon, kid. You're done. Now my next hot take, it comes in at UFC 321, Aspinall versus Gane. I truly believe that if Aspinall and Gane go to the second round, somehow that Gane survives that first round and gets to it, Alex Pereira would beat Tom Aspinall. Now, this sounds like the most absurd take ever, but you guys really need to just think about it. Let me describe it to y'all. Let me open my book and read you my storybook. All right? If Cyril Gane can get past the first round, Alex Pereira has a really similar style to Cyril Gane, you know, chopping at the legs and everything. I know that Cyril Gane's best win, if you don't count the Volkov robbery, is tied to Ivasa. Even then, Cyril Gane is the closest thing we've seen to Alex Pereira. Maybe a bit less takedown defense, no power. But if he can get to the second round, imagine what a fully tuned Cyril Gane would be able to do, aka Alex Pereira. He has way more power. He has beautiful kickboxing. He's a double Glory kickboxing champ. And also, Alex Pereira has the best takedown defense that the heavyweights would ever see. Alex Pereira was the only guy to not get taken down by Ankalaev in a championship fight again and again and again. Alex Pereira's takedown defense is amazing. And what I'm trying to say here is that Alex Pereira, if he was to fight Aspinall, I don't think it would go to the ground, just due to the fact that his takedown defense is so good. And if it was on the feet, if Cyril Gane can last more than one round, so is Pereira. Pereira isn't getting chinned anytime soon. Now, if Pereira can just get 2 rounds to find Aspinall's chin, he probably will. We have seen this time and time again. First round, second round, KO, 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 KO. Pereira is the guy to do it. Now, this is a hot take for a reason because it's unlikely to happen. But if anyone was to beat Aspinall, it is Alex Poetard Pereira. Alex Pereira. Him versus John Jones is a really good fight. It really is. The GOAT versus the GOAT. I really hate that fight, by the way. I think it should be Aspinall versus Pereira because Aspinall, he also just leaves his head up. He leaves his chin up. Like, he leaves it out. Alex Pereira is going to take advantage of that if the fight is longer than 2 rounds. Or if it's longer than 1 round. That is what's going to happen. And that's my hot take for y'all. I truly believe that if Cyril Gane can just show us Aspinall can get it out the first round, Alex Pereira, you are the new heavyweight champion of the world. I truly believe this. I truly do. Okay, now my next hot take really stems from me just scrolling on TikTok. I'm scrolling on TikTok. I see this video. Merab fighting again in December. We're going to have some uncomfortable conversations about him. Now, I fully agree. I think that if Merab can win in December, the GOAT talk will be crazy. But I look in the comments. Liam here. Liam. Of course your name is Liam. As a Dominic Cruz fan, Merab the bantamweight GOAT if he wins this rematch. I had to comment. Because what kind of take is that? Merab's been the GOAT since Umar. Okay? People forget how good Merab's resume is. He beat John Dodson. And now if you're a casual, you don't know that name, but that name is so good. Okay? He beat Marlon Morales. He beat Jose Aldo. He beat Piotr Yan. He beat Henry Cejudo. He beat Sean O'Malley not once, but twice. He beat Umar Nurmagomedov, and he beat Corey Nerd Hagen. All right? Now, if he gets Peter Yan again, dude, this guy might be the GOAT of the UFC. Right? Now, in my GOAT list, this sounds really crazy, but you guys need to understand that the modern people are taking over. Merab is already on par with GSP on my list. He's in that number 4, number 3 range already. You guys, he has 4 defenses and he's getting his 4th. He is already past Dominic Cruz's defense line. He is already the bantamweight GOAT since Umar, just based off quality of wins and his dominance. People need to understand how dominant Merab is. Who does that to Henry Cejudo? Aljamain Sterling had a split decision win over Henry Cejudo just the fight before he fought Merab. Alright? Sean O'Malley was amazing. He beat Piotr Yan. Sean O'Malley is kind of underrated in a way that people just think just because you lose to Merab, you're not good. Sean O'Malley is an amazing win, not once but twice. Umar Nurmagomedov, that win is going to age beautifully. Once Merab moves up, retires, whatever he wants to do, Umar is going to become the next champ. He beat Corey Sandhagen. That's a really good win. And speaking of Corey Sandhagen, the guy who everyone thought would be a stylistic nightmare, Merab literally outstruck Corey Sandhagen. Merab is almost a GOAT, man. People need to start realizing that Merab is so much better than Anderson Silva. He's on par with GSP. People need to stop inflating the past and start to realize how good the modern people are. We're in a renaissance right now. Ilia Topuria, Islam Makhachev, JDM, Alexandre Pantoja, Volkanovski, Merab. All of these guys are amazing at what they do, and they will become the next GOATs. They will replace the top 5. All I see really staying in the top 5 is maybe DJ John Jones. Everyone else is really not going to stay in that top 5. They're going to be replaced. Jose Aldo, amazing win for the time. Jose Aldo was in his mid-30s. People always act like, oh, Jose's old. The last 10 fights don't count because he was old.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Jose Aldo was 33 when he fought Volkanovski. He was 31 when he fought Max Holloway. He is not old. You might be saying, oh, he's fighter old. He's fighter old. No, he's not. No, he was not, bro. No one is fighter old at 29. No one is fighter old at 30, bro. Nobody. It doesn't matter if you started fighting at 6 years old. You're just not. Ilia Topuria started fighting when he was 4 years old. He's in his prime now at 27, and he will continue to be in his prime. I hate this take, bro. And alongside this, Jose Aldo isn't even the featherweight GOAT. It's not even close. He's not close to the featherweight GOAT. I see it so often that he is the featherweight GOAT. He has maybe 2 elite wins. And those 2 elite wins are from the past WEC days. Jose Aldo is nowhere close to Volkanovski or Max Holloway. He's maybe top 3, maybe top 4 even. Because Ilia Topuria, he did have those 2 beautiful wins over Volk and Max. Just kind of smidging him over Aldo. People need to stop giving Aldo so much credit for having such an amazing win streak a billion years ago. The sport is evolving. We need to start considering that people who are fighting against better competition are better fighters. And it isn't Jose's fault that he was born in 1980, whatever. But it is a thing that we have to consider, that they are better because they're fighting modern competition. Now my next hot take, it stems from this fight right here. Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. Now, oh my god. Max Holloway is getting blackpilled right now. Just be short, just be Spanish. Just be Georgian. Just be champion. Just have power. This is what's happening. This is a mockery right now. I'm gonna scroll past. I'm gonna not want this to be a hot take anymore if I keep looking at that. This is better. This looks a bit better. Yeah. This looks better. Now, I think that if Max Holloway and Ilia Topuria were to rematch, if let's say Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway were to fight and it's a close fight, and I think that honestly Charles Oliveira is really looked down upon in that fight. I think that Charles Oliveira has a really good chance of beating Max Holloway. Okay, he did get knocked out by Ilia Topuria quicker, but MMA math never works. Now Charles Oliveira does have better ground game, and I feel like he could kind of just smudge him like he did Michael Chandler and get the decision win. But if Max Holloway were to win, and it does, for the BMF title he does win, I think that Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria is really likely, because Islam needs time off, JDM, everything like that, right? For the US White House card. This is a whole big thing where we're just waiting up to White House being headlined by Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. Now, I think that Max Holloway would genuinely bring this to a decision if it was to happen again. And why I'm saying this is because look at his last fight. Even though he was chinny, even though he did get knocked down by Dustin Poirier, he did implement the wrestling. He was looking so good. And he was kind of looking like a different beast almost. And you must be saying, Ilia Topuria is way better than Dustin Poirier. Yeah, he is. But Max Holloway is also just looking so much stronger at lightweight. And I don't think that Max would win. I think Max would maybe take the first round, second round. And then Ilia Topuria takes the third, fourth. And then that fifth round, Ilia just takes it, you know? But I just really think that if it was to go again, it would be a decision. And honestly, if I could just be real, I just want to see the fight again. This fight was so heat, bro. This fight was so good. It was so good. It was so amazing, bro. The way that it was like literally a tactician versus a marauder, bro. A freaking marauder. Like Max Holloway was spinning out of every exchange. He was looking beautiful, bro. I thought Max was gonna win by decision. I was like, holy, what is happening right now? Ilia Topuria lock in, and Max just kept going boom, 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 barrages, and then would circle out. And then suddenly it just stopped working, but it was so good while it was happening, bro. I was so surprised with how good Max Holloway was performing in this fight. And that's why I really think if it was to be in lightweight, it would go to decision. Max Holloway's chin would be better. He even said after the fight that the only reason he lost is because he had to drain back down. And I truly believe it. You had to train, you had to go up in weight, you had to go up in muscle on short notice. People forget that the UFC 300 fight against him and Gaethje was short notice. If he was to go back down, it would have been hard on him. Dude, he was like 160, he goes back down. That would have been hard on him. And I just think that he has a beautiful chin. We've seen it again and again, time and time again, that it would be a way closer fight. Now, I don't know if it would end in a finish for Ilia in round 5, 4, but it would be a lot closer. Now, that being said, I think that this fight won't ever happen. I think that it would be Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. Charles just squeaks the win out. And I'll make a prediction on that when that fight gets booked. And then Ilia Topuria, he fights Paddy or Gaethje, and then he goes fights Islam at the White House. I think that's the realistic timeline of MMA right now. I don't think they will ever rematch. But if it does, I don't know, man. It might be a little close. Max Holloway's a freaking marauder. People forget, man. People forget that Petr Yan is getting a title shot after a win off Marcus McGee. And people forget, man, that Max Holloway might just get a title shot over 40-year-old Dustin P-Head Poirier. For this next take, you guys all clicked on my video because of this take. You saw the thumbnail. You're like, this guy's so dumb. This guy's so stupid. I think that Ilia beats Islam. Yeah, I actually made that thumbnail. Me. Yeah, I really did. I know it's amazing. But Ilia is younger. Ilia and Islam's reach isn't that far off. Islam does have the height advantage. He is 5'10" and Ilia is 5'7". Yeah. But Ilia also, all he needs is just a shot. We've seen how good he is at lightweight against Charles Oliveira, a guy who's never been knocked out in his career. And now people are saying, Charles is chinny. Yeah, but that's what makes him such a good fighter, is that he gets chinned, but then he gets back up anyways. Ilia didn't let him get back up. He was dead. His eyes were rolled up. He looked like the Undertaker, dude. He looked like he died, bro. Like, I was actually like, oh my God, we just saw the first MMA death. Now you're telling me that guy wouldn't beat Islam Makhachev? It's a really close fight. It's a remarkably close fight. I'm not saying that he pummels Islam. Not at all. I just think he beats him. I think that Ilia has the wrestling to do it. We've seen it. We've seen his background in wrestling. We've seen it in the regional scene. We saw it against Bryce Mitchell. We saw it against Josh Emmett. We saw it a little bit against Charles Oliveira, which was a really good display. People say that, oh, he got locked in a leg lock. Oh, that was so bad, right? But also, Ilia reversed the first takedown that Charles could have done. And Islam will never throw a leg lock in his life. He doesn't know how. This guy doesn't know how. He only knows two things: a Darce and a normal rear naked choke. That's all he knows. A ninja choke, maybe. That's about it. Ilia will be able to get out of that. Even if Islam does a wrestle heavy approach, they're going to get stood up the next round. Ilya will probably study how Islam wrestles, and he will be able to win this fight. And what I'm trying to say here is that Ilya has the tools. Ilya is young enough. Ilya wants it more. He wants to be the greatest of all time. Now Islam is fine. He's like, brother, I retire, brother, I retire. He always wants to retire for some reason. He's 32 years old. I'm pretty sure he's gonna retire next year, just like Khabib did. He doesn't want it as much as Ilya wants it, and I think that if this fight was to happen at lightweight, Ilya wins easy. Ilya wins so easily. If it was welterweight, it's an extremely hard fight for Ilya. I think that Islam might even take the cake there. But if it's at lightweight, Ilya wins so easily.
Hey! Come on, man! That's too easy!
And I've explained everything why, but also there's just like a mentality going into this and the momentum that Ilya is unstoppable right now. And the recent divorce, dude, this guy is gonna kill anyone in his path. He beats Paddy, or he beats Gaethje, whichever one. I don't know what they're doing, why they're giving them both like undeserved title shots. They could have given it to Max again. That rematch would have been really good. But despite all that, if this fight does happen after that, we will see how fast Ilya will knock out both of those guys, and the Dagestani haters will be so fuck. My crash out there, my cutout. I'm sorry about that. But what I was basically trying to say is the Dagestani lovers, they're gonna see this fight. They're gonna see Ilya versus Paddy, Ilya versus Gaethje. I don't know what the UFC is doing. They're gonna see that fight. And they're gonna see that Ilya knocked them out within the first round, within the first minute. And they're gonna get scared. They're gonna realize that this fight against Islam isn't just a piece of cake because he's tiny. He is a real threat to Islam. Islam just beat JDM by split decision. Oh my God. How is he gonna do this against Ilya? Ilya has real crazy power. What is gonna happen here? And I just feel like really people aren't giving Ilya the respect he deserves, especially in the wrestling range. That he does have good wrestling, and just because he hasn't been able to display it that well doesn't mean his wrestling isn't elite. His wrestling is amazing. And this kind of just sounds like a glaze fest. I'm not trying to glaze. I just think that Ilya would beat Islam. I think that Islam is a tad bit overrated. The Charles Oliveira win, really good. Volk win, really good. Second Volk win, not that good. It wasn't that good. Dustin Poirier, really good win, but not like as dominant as it should have been. Renato Moicano, brother, send him Dagestan 2-3 year. He gone. Okay, dude, that's 3 good title defenses. One of them shouldn't have been that close. So Volk and Charles Oliveira, that's his 2 good wins. Ilya Topuria killed both of them. And MMA math never works. I've said that time and time again. But I just think that people are overrating Islam in this fight and underrating how good Ilya's chances are against Islam. Bottom line, they're both each other's kryptonite, and one guy has to prevail, and I think it's Ilya Topuria. I don't know what that was about. I'm sorry, guys. But that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys agree. If you don't agree, dispute with me in the comments. I'll reply. We can have a little chat, a little gander. And I'm planning to do a GOAT list next. I feel like my GOAT list is a bit different from all these other MMA YouTubers, especially Lucas Tracy. That GOAT list was horrible. He should really just let me take over his channel. He really should. That was horrible. That was horrible on him. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will be making a reaction to the Aspinall versus Gane card if it is good. If it's not good, I'm not doing that. This is a very particular YouTube channel. If I like a video, I'm gonna make it. If I don't like it, just forget about it. That's all. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, like. Thank you.